Splitting Hair's free salon education podcast starts now. Featuring Matt Beck, Christina Cavalcanti, Brian Hare, Drea Bolin, Thaddeus Bolin, and Danielle Downs. Today's episode is powered by MinervaBeauty.com.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Splitting Hairs, the Hairdressers podcast on freesaloneducation.com. Welcome to the show. How was everybody's day? Good?
Splendid.
Good. Splendid. Busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really, I finally tackled my color correction-ish like scenario.
Oh, yeah. What happened? So let's talk about this story real quick because
Okay.
you had a client. It's been kind of a nightmare. Not a nightmare, but like...
It's been frustrating. I won't say nightmare. It's been
Right.
frustrating. She came to me a few months ago, and like she wants to be blonde, but she's not really like being completely forthcoming with why she's not blonde right now. So I've balayaged her a few times, and I do a root color, and she just keeps coming out like, no matter what I use, she keeps coming out so golden retriever, and it's like, it's just killing me. And finally, I just sucked it up, and like I did her roots last week and her haircut, and then we went to town with some foils today. Finally broke through all that awkward warmth that I just couldn't get rid of before. Only to find out that the reason I've had such a hard time is because before she started coming to me, someone made her dark. And I was like, oh, that would have been pertinent information at some point before today.
Yeah.
But she's finally happy, I'm finally happy, and moving forward, we're good to go.
Okay, that's good. It was funny because Brian came into my office earlier today, and he was like, I'm doing this again, round 2 or whatever, and I don't know why she's staying with me, but she's staying with me. So it's fun. I'm glad that you guys are rolling with it now. So
Me too.
We were at the Minerva Beauty open house party in Atlanta, Georgia just yesterday.
2 days ago.
2 days ago. 2 days ago we were there. Had a great time. So, and it was kind of an adventure to get there, right? I mean, there was 8 of us, including our 10-year-old son, and we were just like Ubering everywhere. Like when we said we were in Atlanta, we weren't really in Atlanta.
Nope.
No. We were 2 hours from Atlanta, and every Uber driver that we got into the car, they were like, "Oh,
it was a very special
that's where you're going." Yeah. So a lot of things happened, but we had a great time. It was obviously great seeing everyone from Minerva. This show is powered by Minerva. So what I want to do is just in the show, I want to play the Minerva video. I'm going to play it in a little bit, but we do have a special guest today, and because the stream has issues, when we have a special guest on the line, I would like to start talking with him. He's a special guy. We've been friends with him through the internet. We've never really met face to face, but we have been friends with @HairLikeABoss for quite a while. So it's really awesome to be able to have him on the show. And just really what we want to talk to him about, what I want to talk to him about is he's been making some posts on the internet lately that is one thing I want to discuss with him, just because I think it gets a little bit deeper into the industry. So I'm going to pull up some of those posts so we can have that little talk. But also he's got a lot of things going on, and he's also a hairdresser that I'm always seeing doing something. Mm-hmm. So it's not like he has a big following, but there's a reason why he has it, and he puts in a lot of work. So it's pretty cool to see his growth over the years. So without further ado, let's bring Hair Like a Boss on here. What's up, man?
Hello.
Hey.
He puts in a lot of work, so it's pretty cool to see.
We're delayed, so he doesn't see.
So without further ado, let's bring Hair Like a Boss. Can he hear us though? What's up, man?
Hello, hello.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
So all right. It's pretty cool to see.
I feel like there's a gap and delay.
There's a little delay, and you just have to turn it down a little bit on your end.
What's up? How are you guys?
Good. That echo is intense. So, are you hearing us through your computer?
Like there's a gap and delay.
There's a little delay.
Go back.
Let's see.
What's up? How are you guys?
Okay. So here, let's go back.
I have you playing on my TV and the laptop.
Yeah, turn off the TV part.
What's up? How are you guys?
Here, let's shut him off real quick.
I have you playing on my TV and the laptop.
Yeah, turn My apologies to the internet.
But you're.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Let's let's chat with him and just say it. He's got to turn all that because he should be able to hear us through his computer only. And then hopefully we'll be good. Okay, the TV is off. Can you hear us through the computer?
I think he said he doesn't hear us.
He doesn't hear us. Okay.
Yeah, let's chat with him and just say it. He's got to turn all that because he should be able to hear us through his computer.
All right. I don't know what to do about it.
Dang.
Oh,
I know.
Matt.
Technical
Can you hear us through the
difficulty.
computer?
Let's just FaceTime
Why don't you?
him.
No, I have the TV on because I can hear you through it.
Yeah, I know. Let's see.
The delay is killing the interview.
No, I do hear you.
Oh, you
Oh,
do.
you. Okay.
All right.
He hears us.
Okay. Why don't we?
Okay, I got you now.
You got it.
You got it?
Yeah, I got you through the computer. I have the TV on because I can hear you through it.
Sweet.
Yeah, I know,
Sweet.
I know.
Okay, but you got to turn the TV.
Okay, but you got to turn the TV.
All right, all right, hold on. TV's off. TV's off. TV's off.
Oh, all right.
It's like red light, green light.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I'm syncing it from my phone to my TV.
Okay.
Okay.
I just wanted to end.
Okay. Do you got it?
All right, hold on. TV's off. TV's off. TV's off. I am horribly technically challenged.
This
Turn
is the
TV
best.
off. I'm syncing it from my phone to my
Finally,
TV.
I'm not the only one.
This is as real as it gets.
I literally have no idea what to do right now.
Me either. Hold on.
I know. I'm glad you can hear us though at this point. It's just the echo part. Do you? Okay. Did you get everything shut
dying. They're dying.
You know how you do the flip thing with the remote and the batteries to turn off the TV? All right.
Yes.
It's off now. It's off.
off? Okay. All right.
100%.
This is good.
Oh,
this is
This
good.
is great.
This is good.
All right, it's
This is
working.
classic.
All right, awesome. I think we're good.
Oh my God.
I'm good.
All right.
All right, I feel good. All right. Hair like a boss,
Hi
everyone.
guys, how are you?
Welcome. What an entrance.
All right, so if anybody wants to listen to this back, we will cut all of that out for the audio portion.
No, don't cut that out. That
No,
shit
I
is
know.
hilarious.
No, it won't. It'll be on video forever.
Okay, good.
All right, so all right, so welcome to the show. I know you've you've supported us. We've watched you forever. Like it's just really cool to finally have you on here connected to everything that's happening. Yeah, I didn't know that, but that's awesome.
You didn't know.
No.
So when I was working out of my house and I left the salon that I was at, I was actually watching your YouTube page to learn how to do haircuts.
Oh, well, that's good
So
to know.
you helped me.
All right, that's great. So, well, I'm glad that we have that going on. What haircut was it? Do you remember?
I feel like we have more than that going on, bro. Like, come on.
So,
I mean, look, I actually wear your hat. Like, this is for the gym. Do you see the sweat?
No way.
That's how much I wear this hat.
that's awesome. All right, cool. So, why don't we start off? Let's just talk about your career for a second because from your house to now what you're doing, let's talk about that. What do you have going on right now?
Oh man, what don't I have going on right now?
I know.
So yeah, I've been in the industry about 6 years, and I like to I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm sponsored by a company that's out of Brazil, one of the biggest, if not the biggest company from Brazil, Trust.
Okay.
And I'm doing a lot of education with them. But before them, I was still doing education, going around teaching, and I didn't even know it was there. People, I threw it out there, and like everybody hit me up about it.
Okay.
And then I still, I go around and educate myself. You should never stop at getting education. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And
And then my app, but we won't get into that. I feel like I'd rather be on the show to talk about my app.
yeah, no problem. Yeah, like live, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. But if anybody wants to know, you do have an app. You can find it on your Instagram bio if they just want to see what you're talking about, and then we do want to have you on for that. So here's something, because you're saying that you're sponsored by a company. That was something interesting that I found on your page not that long ago about where's it at here? In the post, is popularity the new paycheck? So I think we have a slide of it.
You want to go into
Chris.
this?
I want to go. So here's why I want to go. No, I want to go into. I mean, you left it out there, but I want to go into it because it is important. It's important because I think there are a lot of. First off, there are a lot of hairdressers that don't have big followings that think that once you get a big following, all of a sudden you do get a big paycheck. And then I think there's also people that have a big following that haven't figured out how to get, paid for what they do. So the fact that you do have Trust on board with you, we were going to do some work with Trust. We ended up doing something else, but they are a big company and they are trying to push into the United States, and it's cool that you are hooked up with them. So let's talk about
how did that come about?
Yeah, like how did that come about? But then also what really brought on this post? Like why make that post about popularity and a paycheck, that kind of thing?
Because, Trust came about. I was not taking sponsorships because in our industry, if you take a sponsorship by a brand and you have to sign a contract, then you're obligated to stay within the perimeters of those results. And we make more than enough money to be independent and go buy whatever we want to give optimal results to the clients. So say you're sponsored, I'm not even going to say brands, but if you're sponsored by a brand and you don't like their 9 level or their 9 ash, but you liked another brand's 9 ash, you either can use it and not sponsor it or not post about it, but you're basically obligated through a contract to only use that brand. So as far as like being an artist and painting, if you take on a sponsorship, cool, you get free stuff. But like even before I took on Trust, like I get a certain amount of products for free, but I afforded all the products I ever needed for 6 years straight. Like I didn't need them. We don't need any brands.
Right.
Ever.
Right. Well, you don't because it's your job. But then also when you're trying to go to a different, kind of a different avenue of the job or education or those other things, I'm not saying that you need brands. I'm not even disagreeing with you at all. But what I am saying is like you did afford those things because that was your job. You were charging people to do it. But then when you look at the next level of everything, now you have a following and now you have brands that are reaching out. What I connected to with what the post that you made was the fact that you were saying, like, you don't want just free product, right? Like, that's not the point. Is that what you were saying?
Like, right. I do know a lot of stylists, and out of the people that I know, I probably have the least amount of followers. You know what I mean? Like, the people that I can reach out to and work with, and the people that have worked with and I'm friends with.
Yeah.
Right now on Instagram, to be popular, you just have to create a character. You have to post up some dumbass videos and create this character that people watch.
Right.
And that's that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's about having a following, but why have a following without leading them somewhere? Most people are not believed now. Everybody is on a team. So if you're sponsored by these companies, it's like, we know you're sponsored by them. We know you're going to tell us about that product. So they're not believable anymore. Right. So it's like, it's a lot of people are trying to do the most, become popular. We work in a very egotistical, vain, narcissistic industry. Right. And now that in social media comes around, we all want to be cool. It's high school again.
Yeah.
Right. But sorry, I don't know if you heard the sound effect. We're not laughing at you. But But this is the other thing. So now you're with Trust. What are you doing different?
You want to see my angle? Why I did that?
What's that? Yeah, exactly.
Why I did that?
Your angle on that.
100%.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I had an app coming out. Right. So I had an app coming out. So worst case scenario, they're going to put me in front of a lot more people than I would be able to get in front of anyways. And it's like cross marketing. So I did use the product, so they want me to jump on board right away, but I wasn't going to jump on board. I wanted to use the product. So I have like a rule, like what my clients turn around and tell me about, or will mention like, hey, what did you use on my, like what you use in my hair? Like they notice the difference. And I could tell you probably within the first week to 2 weeks, I had about 4 clients hit me back up and be like, what did you use in my hair this time? I noticed the difference. And I'll be honest, their products are definitely different than most of the stuff I use. Okay. But since my clients noticed, that's why I jumped on board. And I can't be like, I'm only 6 years in the game. So like to say that I would rather get involved with something than not get involved with something and then regret it down the line. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if
Makes
this is
sense.
it's only a certain contract, like they're not like my mom or a principal. Like I can get out of a contract. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a big obligation, and I did like their looks. I liked the direction they were going with. So worst case scenario, if it wasn't for me, I just I'll bail. But
Right.
like I was in the position that no amount of money they would give me or not give me a product, it was nothing about money with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and I think the thing that people need to understand too is that product companies are kind of what make our world go round. You know what I mean? Like you don't need them, but you do need them. I mean, we need them on a day-to-day basis. We use bleach and all this stuff. We're not inventing our own stuff all the time. But like
Correct.
you do need product companies, but education doesn't need the product company. So I think that's where like
Right.
the disconnect happens and where people get so like
Not necessarily. I like it's what you're doing with the product. He's working
wife
behind
is
the
here.
chair, and like what he's saying, his avenue is different than what your avenue is.
right.
But he's right about getting in front of. He at least is using a product that he believes in and likes, and that his clients seem to love, and he's now cross marketing, like he said, using that product.
Right.
But the hairdresser behind the chair has a different avenue than free salon education or anyone educate. Like the everyday hairdresser posting Instagram posts is just different. It's a whole different field.
Yeah, it's not though, really, because I mean,
Well,
if you
Matt,
think what's
you
that?
run a salon, so a salon to an independent hairstylist is completely different. Like I understand that you have like congratulations on your new spot, by the way, and the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. So you have this whole salon, and that's why I can never really speak on behalf of a salon owner because you guys have much more overhead. You do have to worry about things, and I don't know if you're a renter or commission booth. So you do want to kind of cut on margins. Like I have a business background. That's where most people don't know. But like I do understand your position as being a salon owner and trying to get product like that. But at the end of the day, again, if you're independently, everybody in your spot had their own booth and like had their own like suite. We wouldn't need. You don't need a brand. You don't even need to be sponsored by a brand. You don't have to have products paid for because look at it this way: a bleach costs $28, right?
Right.
We use that bleach maybe 1, 2, 3. If you get 5 uses out of that bleach, which is a stretch, like we get way more than 5,
Right.
at an average of $200 to say $300 a service, you made your money.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So these little boxes that we pay $8 for, are you willing to give away your freedom for $500 worth of product to be locked down to this brand?
Right. I don't think, honestly, any hairdresser should lock down to one brand ever anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a 10 years, like 10 years ago, that was the cool thing to do. That was a thing that if you wanted to be in education or if you were just a hairdresser behind the chair, like you wanted to support a brand. But like you're saying, like one brand doesn't have everything. And also one brand, if you support one brand, you're absolutely doing it just because you get paid by that brand or vice or whatever. They gave you free product or whatever it is. And but you're not telling the truth because not one brand can do everything. Right. So
no, absolutely not.
And that's why even with free salon education or in our salon, like we use mostly Paul Mitchell here because that's what we used all through our career. We all educated for Paul Mitchell. But also there are things that Paul Mitchell doesn't have that we also use that are here as well.
Right.
Few things, but it's the things that Paul Mitchell doesn't seem to have exactly what we wanted. So,
so
it's just that
primary, and then you have your little things here and there.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So I agree with you, and I don't even think it's a salon owner thing because I don't think there's a benefit really anymore like there was before to only carry one product.
Well, it took me a minute to get around to understanding what he was saying. I think it's what's different for us is because it is, like the commission salon, it's a group. So like we as a salon use this. I get now what he's saying, like in a independent stylist kind of scenario, when you have to pay for all of that yourself and it's just you that you're providing this stuff for,
Right.
I can see why somebody would maybe want to get a sponsorship so that they don't have to pay for it. But I totally get what he's saying about why not to do that.
Yeah.
Because you
It's a high
lose your
price to
freedom.
sell your soul.
Right. You lose your freedom when you let someone tell you what you have to do every day.
Yeah, no one, no matter how many followers you have or whatever, should go to one product line and say, I will only use, like, sign a contract and say it. And we go through it all the time. Like, you can't just say I'll use one product. It's not real. Like,
Right.
people don't.
Either you're lying to people or you're lying to the
Right,
people.
but
who sponsor.
depending on the
Yeah.
product company, they're only gonna go back and forth so much about that contract with you, depending on who you
Yeah.
are. So
Well, that's why you got to pick and choose the company
Right.
too, right? I mean, that's what.
I
We're-
imagine that in this day and age, those companies have to be getting a little bit more lax with that kind of stuff.
They are, but they're not. There's a lot of them that aren't.
Really?
Yeah, it's just not.
And you know
they-
why? Because there's people like, again, social media. They'll just reach out to anybody, and anybody that just wants to jump on a wave and put up on their thing like they're sponsored by something. They will go through people until they accept the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to be affiliated to something.
And like you said, it's easy to build up a pretty big following on Instagram. If you really dedicate some time to it, you can build it up. But what I like about the people that follow you is you get a big return on. You might not have the most followers out of some people, but you have a really loyal following for sure. I mean, you can see
Yeah.
it. Like when you make
I
a
hope
post,
so.
people react to it. And you'll see like people that have 500,000 followers don't get the
they
same.
get like 30 likes.
Yeah, they don't get the same reaction as you because I think that there's a bigger long-term value in what you have as opposed to a lot of people that have, 50,000, 100,000, 500,000 followers for sure.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
something to be
but
said for
again,
slow growth.
back to my
for sure.
whole point of like when people are sponsoring, you can't believe them. People know even from get-go, like people that Trust hits up about sponsorship, they've been hitting me up first, like, hey, Trust hit me up, like, how do you feel about this? So people, before they even talk to the companies now, they'll hit me up because they know I'll tell them the truth. I won't tell them the business that Trust and I do together,
Right.
but I will, like, I'll tell them my position with them. And yeah, I think being honest, like, I've never had a boss. Like, I never had to answer anybody, so I never had to be filtered. Like, who's going to tell me what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't care. Like, even like when my sponsorship calls, man, I get that text message, Daniel, call me. I call him and then I give him my position. You know what I mean? Which is cool. Like, I understand, like, there's boundaries, but at the end of the day, you're never going to take me away from the person or the passion I have within my everyday and my career. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
like, yeah.
With that being said, I was going to put the post up that I don't have the one that you shared, but I do have the
Let's go to the next
thanks
one.
for always taking the time to watch my stories but never like my pics. Hashtag I see you.
Okay, so Christina was showing me this one earlier today. So this one's another one. So you see people like or watch your stories. They obviously are into what you're doing, but they don't like what you do. And this is a big thing. And the reason I like that you're sharing this stuff is because this is what everyone...
Every day, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So, which is why people connect to it. So explain what fired this one off.
Exactly that.
Well, honestly, so I don't even really like my Instagram. I don't know. Like, again, if you look at my Instagram, I'm not like, I don't know if I'm like any other hairstylist. Like, I guess like I cater to who follows me, and who follows me is people that want unedited, real stuff. And I can say that. So like, an average of 5,000 people watch my stories. So I'm not going to scroll through all these people, but I see them. So when I see you always, like, you're first to watch my stuff, but you're never liking my anything, Brian. So
Immediately like that post.
I know. So it's like, I see you. Why
That's
don't you
hilarious.
Support me? But at the same time, I'm feeding that energy to even get them to watch my stories, because stories is a factor of exposure. So like stories even get pushed. So like if people aren't following you, you can get your stories pushed up into that explore area. So it's two audiences. Every time you have an audience, you have to feed that audience. So I'm always feeding the audience that's looking at me.
Yeah. Well, I struggle with the stories thing because I never even see your stories come up. And that's the problem. Like it only gives you like it only gives you like the top, because I don't really post stories that often, which I'm trying to get better at, because it's more of an in the moment thing, and I'm more of a planned post person. But like over the weekend, Plus, I don't really find the day-to-day life that interesting, so it's just hard to find something going on. But I also
You gotta give it to the wife. Let her do that when you're home.
yeah, exactly. She'll just like follow around and tape me doing really boring stuff. So, all right. So, okay, that post is good. So, beautiful Instagram. Tell me about your with. I actually want to know something about trust since I didn't really have a chance to really work with this stuff. It is a bond. It's a lightener with a bond builder in it, right?
No,
Is that true or no?
no.
No.
It's it's something called 8X powder.
Yeah.
And you add it to the bleach.
Oh, you do.
Yep.
Okay, I thought it was a bleach with that in it.
No.
Okay, cool. Oh, that's interesting.
There you go. Learn some.
So it's a powder that you add to your lightener? Is that what it is, though?
It's like a powder form of. I'm not going to compare it to B3, but it's like one step. You put
So
it
it's
into
a
the
bond
bleach. And
builder.
that's it.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Cool. We'll have to check it out.
And it works great. It gives the bleach a better consistency, to me, in my opinion, for what I do.
Yeah. Okay. And so also, let's see. What's another good let me see. What else do you have going on? Are you doing any hair shows or anything at all?
Yeah, I've been going to them all. Because I have the app, so I have to see my competition as far as like booking apps and all that. So I went
Okay.
to Long Beach. Is it ISSE?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
so
was
I
that?
flew out and I hung out with, you guys must know, like Platinum Perfection, Zach.
I don't know.
I've seen his stuff on
I've
Instagram.
seen
it's
his
really
stuff,
good.
but we don't know him. But
Yeah.
he is good.
So
Okay.
him and I, we both basically do white blonde hair. So we've been friends forever, but there was never like a reason, not to say a reason to link up, but like a definitive reason to link up. So he invited me to go to ISSE. So I flew out, hung out with him. We collabed, did some hair together with one of his friends that he went to hair school with. And then we did the ISSE show.
Oh, cool. Right on.
Yeah.
Are you going to premiere?
Yeah, no, and then I went to Chicago recently. So I went to Chicago, hung out with one of my boys. He's his 4 salons in Chicago. And now we're actually going to Brazil in the middle of June.
Okay.
Have you guys been seeing those Brazilians use the I'm gonna wait to talk about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, so getting into, you just said that you guys do the white hair. I just wanted to post the next, your next Instagram post that we liked. It said you don't get white hair on a budget, you
Yep.
get bald.
That is correct.
So let's say
I'm
somebody
playing my phone out if you see me.
let's say
Okay.
somebody comes in. Somebody comes in, they have super dark hair. Let's say I wish you could see Christina's roots right now.
All right, so before you say they come in, I don't allow people to come in.
Okay.
So you have to do a consult before that.
Okay. So no matter what, you won't color their hair the same day that you see them.
Never ever.
Okay.
That's a waste of my time. I'm very big into pairing. Like I only take 4 clients a day. I take clients at 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 3 p.m., and 4 p.m.
Okay. And how does that work?
Because I'm controlled.
Okay. So 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. So what do you take between 10 and 11? Will you start somebody's process? Like, will you have 2
At 10.
clients at a time?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Are you working with an
Not for
assistant?
bleach out, though. Not for white hair. White hair, I have to babysit.
Okay. Okay. So for white hair, what's your process?
They come in alone. And, well, they have to contact me first. I have to see pictures of their hair. We have to go through that whole process. And then once we're on the same page about the process, the price, and all that, then I book them by themselves. I usually give them about 5 hours.
5 hours. And will 5 hours, will you take them where you need them to go, or is that one visit?
No, I'll never do, unless you're blonde and you just need your roots bleached out and your blonde evened out and like a proper blonde. I will take at least 4 sessions. Like that recent post where the Asian chick came in and I had to just like bleach out her regrowth and I made her silver.
Okay.
So everybody's like, she's Asian and black hair. She drives from New York City to me. So New York City to me is about 3 hours. She went around New York City and everybody denied her because she had virgin black hair. But then she contacted me and I told her the process and she's like, I'm okay with the process. The price is not an issue, but no one's taking me. So I was like, as long as we're on the same page, we're cool. But her process was 4 steps. You know what I mean? 4 sessions. She had to go through the brassy. She had to go through the ugly. And then she's now, everybody's like drooling over her hair. But when they hit her up, she shows them my page and her first session. And every time they see her first session, they're like, oh no. But you have to go through that. You don't show up at the gym 300 pounds overweight, spend 3 hours in the gym and walk out with abs. It's all process.
True. Wait, so do you have the picture of her after session 1? Do you post that picture? Ever?
Oh, it's way down there.
It's way down there, but it is on there.
Oh, my Instagram? Oh yeah, it's way down there, yeah.
Okay. So you'll talk about that process. Now, do you post the whole process after it's done? Or do you post it, like, what's your process with posting on Instagram?
So as like, I don't have much time because I don't have an assistant, so I'm by myself. And again, I don't care to put much content up because the only people that understand it is you and us, and that's not who pays me, so I can't pay attention too much to that stuff. Okay. But so I'll put videos and stories and stuff. Like she might still be in my stories. I don't know if she is or not. But like when I did her regrowth, I bleached out her regrowth and dragged out the bleach to the remaining blonde hair to like bump that up, because if she's black, her undertone is going to be orangey. She doesn't come in orangey. She comes in like that dingy orange color. You know what I mean? If inevitably it is what it is.
Right. All right. So I like this
very
because
real with my clients.
Yeah, and I think so. Tell me, so and that's an interesting take that you have too, like where you're more focused. So your Instagram is solely to try to grow your business from either a client standpoint or a brand standpoint, but not really an education standpoint, correct? For the most part.
Honestly, I don't have intent with my Instagram page. Like there is really nothing other than just keeping it real and being there to say stuff that other people don't have the balls to say.
Nice.
So
all right.
Yeah, I don't really. I could easily have more followers. Like, you know, I'm affiliated to all these people. If I want to, you know, it's easy to have. You just have to do stuff to get people's attention, to have them follow you. Like, if you look at a Vivid Stylist page, they have easily 100,000 followers. But if you look at someone that does bomb ass balayage, they probably have like 50 to 60,000.
Right.
You know, it's because it's visually appealing. People like to stare at visually appealing things. Yeah.
My struggle is that no one is building a business with any of that, and I like being able to turn, like, to me, if I'm building something, I'm building it for a purpose, right? So
I build a business. I build strength in my word. So when I say something, people believe me. So
no, I absolutely think you're building a business for sure, and it's interesting to me because it's totally not the same way I think of it. That's why I like what you're doing.
Thank you.
What were you going to say, Danielle?
Well, I was just wondering, seeing as how self-proclaimed that, you know, just full-on disclosure, as a micro-influencer, do you still have a lot of brands that are coming to you wanting to try to control that and get their name on that and get you involved?
I actually have 2 other silent contracts, but agreeing, I don't even know what you'd call them. But yes, I can use 2 other brands because, again, when Trust hit me up, I said immediately, if you're trying to get me locked into color, I will never take a color contract.
Nice.
Good so even when they come out with color and they try to push that color, like I can only use their color, we're going to have to talk about a contract again. Because, again, color is the #1 thing that clients leave with or without. And I cannot allow myself to be cornered like that, you know?
Well, and you also have to realize.
Danielle, nice meeting you and nice to see you on the show. I know you're new.
Thanks.
Yes, you're welcome. Yeah, even if they hit me up, I don't care. Like, again, you would never be able to lock me in or tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Like, for what? Like, that's, again, this is not, you know, they're not my mother and it's not the principal anymore.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's smart, and anybody that's out there that is trying to grow their following and try to grow with, you know, and use brands. You should use brands. It's great. Like, it's part of building your business, but don't get locked into one thing. You have to open up. You're building basically a portfolio of brands, I think, to kind of to fill in what you do professionally. So, like, if you really like certain companies for certain things, that's what you should be reaching out and working with those companies, I think, but they shouldn't be telling you what to do. You should still be being yourself and putting out your work that way.
Well, that's why I was asking that, because now all of these brands are trying to get away from the bigger, you know, influencers that are out there that have millions of followers, because everybody
they're getting
does feel
paid.
like it's fake.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, whatever, you're pushing something, you're getting a percentage. So
Yeah,
that's why I wanted to know.
for sure.
All right,
All
so
right.
I'll give you an example from a stylist that is actually getting paid, and they did hit him, like my company hit him up, and he threw a number that he was already getting broke like from another company, and they wouldn't match it. So these people, they're vetted in, like they know their worth because they're
Yeah.
getting paid. So now this company is like, all right, so who's the trickle down who will take my diluted, not fair contract? And it's the
Right.
people that want to be where this person has just denied that company. But I at what you would say, I don't even know, a micro influencer, I already know my worth, and my worth
Yeah.
is not money. You know, like I've always been good with money, and I've always had money. So money does not impress me. You know what I mean? So like nothing you could really say, because if I'm working for someone that has money, right? And like Matt, like ever since get-go, like I understand your time. So like even when I hit up Brian, like I'll pay you to be on your show because that's your show to talk about my app. But I would always pay you. Like, you know what I mean? I would never want like a free, because this is your business. This is your exposure. You built this. I would compensate you for your business. And I think that a lot of people just try to get on something, willing to take anything, but they don't realize that once you start taking money from someone, they control you. They control where you go, as far as like shows, you know, and
Yeah.
you just, it's unbelievable the things I hear, and I
Yeah,
don't
and
need it.
Yeah. A lot of times it's not worth it, for sure. And you're not going to get enough money from one company anymore either. Like you have to, like, unless you're smart about it, and you just have to make sure that you don't just settle for everything. But I mean,
Correct.
honestly, yeah. So
Different strokes for different folks.
exactly.
There may be a person out there that like wants the you know, the
Fame.
consistency of, well, either fame, but if it's a company that like has put themselves out there and no one's picking them up, like maybe that person just wants the everyday check from them because they are comfortable.
No one's
or
getting
wanna be
paid though. No one's getting
comfortable.
cash. Everybody's getting product.
Yeah.
Well,
Very
some- I mean-
few.
some people are getting. Some people are getting.
I mean, I love the shit. Email me after this.
Well,
I could buy
we're
product.
ones getting paid. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
there's got to be people need to understand. I think that's the problem. Like it's the same thing with salon ownership, right? Like it's usually the hairdresser that hates the salon owner that decides that they can do it better, and they go open a salon, right? And that's like typically what happens. It's what happened. You know, I didn't hate my salon owner, but I hated the situation, and we ended up buying the salon from him. You know, and then you get into it, and you're like, oh, this is like way harder than you think it is, or it's not as glorified as it seems, or whatever. And then working with these product companies is the same thing. Like hairdressers aren't normally business people. You have a business background, but most hairdressers don't have a business background. They just want the ego pet. So what happens is they'll take the free product and they'll just keep pushing things out, and then they keep getting more and more free product. And then by the time they've done all this stuff, now they're maybe taking a small check from a company, but it's not really worth all the time and energy that you put in. Like to build a following on Instagram, like you did, or like a lot of people that are like core truth people, it takes a long time and a lot of work, and people don't value that because it's something that they can't really see. So what happens is they'll take whatever the first thing is that comes along, and they don't actually try to like, I don't know what I'm looking for, but like they don't basically know how to make it a business, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
They're just going for the instant gratification.
Yeah. This is
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
what I was saying. Like, it's just jumping on things for recognition and
right.
whatever exposure that they'll get from it. But
Yeah.
in the day, you don't get paid for it. Like it's at the like you would never know what product, if I use a 9 Ash or whatever, you would never know what brand I use unless I told you. That's where we have our power. Like if I'm a dope, like someone that can do dope blonde, right? That's
Yeah.
just, it is in me already. I've educated myself. I've paid my way. I've failed and failed and failed to get where I'm at. Now this company just gets to come in and makes me say their name. You wouldn't know, like even like when I was, working out of my house, like I was using Ion and Sally's, but no one would believe me. It's nothing. Like if you know how to lighten and saturate and bleach, you are just a fundamental strong stylist. You would
Yeah.
never know what brand I'm using unless I say it. My voice is my worth.
For sure.
Yeah.
On that note, so is there anything that you want to promote or anything like that? I love all the information. I think people are going to get a lot. Is there anything in the chat that anybody's saying, Chris? Anybody want to ask anything? I'm sure it's going crazy.
You can ask me whatever you want as long as Matt okays it.
It's just basically like someone was like, "Thanks for having this conversation. It doesn't happen much." Wow, what are you charging? Only for a day? Like if you're doing four, I guess, did somebody say something about doing 4 people? Sorry, I'm like,
like
Yeah.
4
talking.
people.
Oh, I'm by the
So-
hour.
Okay, so maybe get into pricing because a couple people had questions.
Yeah,
So,
that's
all right. So as far as pricing, I changed my way of doing pricing because I realized that way back in the day, Guy Tang was on the right thing. Guy Tang was $150 an hour. And we are the only industry, which is really weird to me. You have tattoos are by the hour, right?
Yeah.
Mechanics are by the hour. Massages are by the hour. Everything other than hair is by the hour. And then we allow these clients to nitpick things like, oh, but I don't think you used that much toner on me this time. Oh, you
Right.
didn't do this time. Yeah, but you still took 4 hours to do. I did something else.
Right.
See what I'm saying? And I don't allow that. Like if I heard another nitpick situation, I was gonna lose my mind. You know what I mean? So, because we are the only, do you ever do that to the tattoo artist? You're like, oh, whoa, last time I came in here, you only used so much blue in that tattoo. I think you should knock off $30. You still sat for 6 hours. Like it's
a good point.
handmade.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So they can't
I'm into
question
it.
it. You start at 10, you
So-
leave at 2, you're paying that price.
So how did you figure out what you wanted your hourly to be?
Oh, I didn't like go up in my prices. I figured out how long each client is with me on average.
Yeah.
And I just divided that. And then I think I went up like $5 because I didn't change my prices. Like I was literally the first one in my area doing ombres. I learned ombres by watching YouTube videos in Spanish. So like, and then from Spanish, no, this is real talk. But then when ombres became big, I was doing like 8 a week. And then I learned from Candy Shaw. She was speaking French on how to do balayage because these girls were so used to having like foil work to their roots. Now ombre doesn't have that. They go to work and people are like, oh, it looks like you need to get your hair done. So they're insecure about it. So they would come back and I would add balayage in. So basically my pricing was so old and vintage that like I may have seemed expensive, but I was also offering services that no one else was offering. And they're not just typical weave factory highlights.
Right. That's good. I
So
like that.
yeah, I went up like $5.
Okay.
I dig it.
Okay. And then I think what drove you into the business?
It's recession proof. You can do hair at a mall or you can be doing $1,500 haircuts. You choose.
True. It's not. I
Right?
mean, it's recession proof. But we started the salon in the recession,
Yeah.
and it was awful. It was like we were trying to do.
Well, you were
what
starting
was
a business. You weren't.
Right.
You were
Yeah.
offering a service. You were starting a business. That's different.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but no one wanted haircut. Everybody was pushing their appointments back as far as they possibly could. I think that's where ombre came from. Was the fact that no
Yeah,
one wanted to
I'll be
come
right
back in.
there,
Right.
Johnny just says,
Years
dude is a
ago.
beast of his own worth. He's awesome. The show has me supercharged right now.
He is a beast.
Oh, hey,
And then
thanks. I don't know.
Susan asked,
don't know.
who is he? So I did post in the chat, but if you just want to kind of go out with who you are and,
Yeah, tell everybody where to follow you, and you have to come back. That the intro at the beginning of this interview was
It's hilarious.
epic
I love it.
proportions.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
So, but yeah, tell everybody where they can follow you and find you.
Instagram is just hair like a boss, and that was actually created by one of my clients. They had a shirt that said "like a boss" on it, and she took a selfie and her hair was all done up, and she was like, "Look at hair like a boss." I was like, "Shut up." And I went to go search it, and it was available, so I took it. Like it was just like hair by Daniel Tatro before, like way like when Facebook bought Instagram.
Nice. Well, you're doing
So-
awesome things, man. And I can't wait for you to come here live and in person. And you know, and that. You guys
And by the
yeah.
way, thank you so much for your Nobody Has to Be a Perfect 10 post. And you had all the ladies with their hands out and they had vitiligo. My mom
you're
has
welcome.
that. And it is a self-conscious thing for a lot of people. So thank you for that.
Everybody finds different things beautiful, and even when you think something's beautiful, you probably are going to be sick of it. Someone's sick of what we find beautiful at some point. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Comes from the inside.
So sick of you. No, I'm just kidding.
Me?
All right.
I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, Matt.
Stop,
I was sick of Matt.
stop.
All right. Well, keeping it real. We will follow you. We'll all follow you on Instagram at Hair Like a Boss, and we'll get you in the studio as soon as possible. And you don't have to pay to be here. You can be here anytime, anytime you want
that's
to.
nice. I'll bring you guys out for lunch or whatever. All of you.
No,
For
you
sure.
can do a
Danielle,
class or
but
something.
she's
And I'll do
bedded
it-
in now.
Yeah. We'll have you out here. We'll do all kinds of stuff. It'll be good. We'll make the best of it. So,
I'm down.
all right, man. Thank you so much for being on here, and have an awesome night.
I'm just gonna shut this screen. I don't even know how to turn it off. I'm just gonna shut it.
Just shut
Bye.
Bye, guys.
See you later.
Bye.
That's so funny.
Oh, he's hilarious. Wow. Okay, that was fun. That was a good interview.
Yeah.
I'm glad it finally worked
out.
Yeah.
It usually
The
does.
struggle is real on that getting people connected, right? All right, so I think we're going to talk about, we had a couple other things. I definitely want to get to the Minerva video. So
Everyone's itching for Meghan's hair.
oh geez.
Just so.
That
Sure.
was about to get axed until Christina said that.
No, I wasn't going to ask that because I put it in the title, so we have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Meghan's hair real quick. We just have a couple photos of it, but I thought that this was an interesting article from people.com. That the title of the article was, "Yes, Meghan Markle's bridal messy bun was supposed to come loose," says her hairdresser.
No
So-
way.
So I actually reached out to her hairdresser,
Oh.
and what is it? What do they say when like you reach out to somebody and there's no comment, like they didn't respond, like on the news, like when it's like
they had nothing, no comment to
they had
report.
no like they didn't say
Yeah.
anything. So I didn't hear anything back, but I wanted them to come
Really?
on.
I'm surprised.
Well, you know what? I was I was actually thinking when I sent out the message, I'm thinking, well, they're just a hairdresser. I mean, it's just like us. There's no difference, right? But then I saw how much they got paid to do the hair,
No
this messy
way.
bun, and it was
I mean, I wasn't invited to go do the royal wedding hair. I don't know. I was unaware that maybe you were.
it's hair.
I was busy that day, so
First off, I've done this updo before.
I was
It's
busy
not that big
sleeping.
of a deal. So let's talk about it. So do we have it up on the thing? So her,
So just her.
yeah, just her.
So okay.
So this was her messy bun. They're basically saying his quote was that the original style came because he wanted to do some kind of, where is it? Why am I losing it? I didn't highlight.
It's down at the bottom.
Oh, Audrey Hepburn, like an inspiration from Audrey Hepburn, right? So I did look up some photos of Audrey Hepburn, but it wasn't like she wore her hair
it was very
most of
sleek.
the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't really, I get that I feel like he just said
He
that.
said he didn't want to make it completely retro
Yeah.
and all of that, but in the quote it was saying that Audrey Hepburn wore volume. Other than, Breakfast at Tiffany's where she had the high bun, it
Yeah.
was sculpted. So
Yeah. So
that was the only volume that she had.
Yeah, and I also found it interesting how he says that he met
Through friends.
Meghan. Yeah, through friends. He's New York based, which is kind of cool, and got paid the makeup and hair. We had another photo of that. Brian sent
Which
that
I
over.
hope
Is
is
that
real.
true?
I
Yeah,
don't
like
know.
we don't
It's
really
just-
know.
It's
That's
been
been
circulating.
It's just what
been circular.
hairdressers are putting out there today.
But let's just say $18,000 for hair and makeup, right? So
It was an $80 updo. The rest of that was makeup.
yeah, and it took 45 minutes to an hour. He said.
Yeah.
So
Okay, but also think about that. If he traveled to London for it,
right.
accommodations.
Okay,
Like-
Dre's get deep.
These are
Yeah,
things
true.
that
I mean,
hairdressers who
it's-
travel for celebrity events, these are things that get brought into cost
Right.
to have their hair done.
Right.
They're getting their accommodations paid for. They're getting their flights, their transportation back and forth to the airport. Whatever they need during that time is being brought into that price for that.
That's why I didn't get the job because I
And that
quoted
is-
18,000, not including flight and hotel.
That
Like,
was
it's-
also
it's-
like so much pressure. Like
Right.
Oh yeah.
that was billions of people watching that. Like, get ready.
Yeah.
you
And
go.
think of how much hate he's getting now for that one little piece being out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
rough.
like I saw that morning. There were people like, I just want to put a pin in this. What is wrong
No.
with him?
No,
oh
I
my
loved
God.
it.
I
thought it was great.
I
I
didn't
like
mind
these
it.
softer styles. I like that they're not super sculpted because it takes the pressure of wearing them off as well. Because if you bump your head and have a super sculpted style in there, it's done. It's
And
gone.
I've done weddings with long trains before. Nothing like what she
Right.
had. If you go with something way too sculpted, then it's never. It's no trains pull. There's weight. I don't care how many cute children are carrying it. Like, I thought it was perfect.
What do the people in the chat think of this style, Chris?
They're just saying very underwhelming, blah, like to the dress and the hair. Veil was beautiful.
Yeah, I didn't mind this style.
But I do agree with Layla. She did say that she thought it was very simple, but she thought it was intentional, and I agree with that. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I was
Yeah.
going to bring into this.
Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Perfect.
I thought
I
it was
really
pretty.
did. I thought it was an intentional do that
Yeah,
way.
I mean, her
I
style
really was
is
waiting for somebody to
usually
say it
loose.
was intentional just to press the button.
That was good. You did place that nice. That.
No.
I
Yeah,
said I don't know when you're gonna be able to play this one, but I said challenge accepted.
All right.
But as far as the price, I mean, remember years ago when Jennifer Lopez, there was I think some post about how her eyebrow person gets paid and flown around, and she does this for like 8,000 to 10,000. Like,
When
I'll
you
do
got a
eyebrows
person.
for 8,000 to 10,000.
That's
All right.
crazy. Yeah, I'd throw in nails too.
And then Mariah also mentioned just saying that it was perfect for that very overwhelming headpiece.
I thought you were
Yeah.
going to talk
So-
about Mariah Carey and like her eyebrows, and I was going to say maybe she should stop paying that much to her eyebrows and start paying it to the sound guy.
Ooh. I love that you.
Burn.
Yeah.
I love that he attacked Mariah Carey and she wasn't even involved. Like,
Nope.
I just heard Mariah, and you were just talking about Jennifer Lopez, and they were like relevant and around the same time.
Oh, jeez. All right. All right. So that's the hair. So we don't feel that he messed it up, right?
No, I
No, I
liked
think
it.
I think it was beautiful, and I think
Yeah.
it represented her well.
We're gonna keep trying to get him on the show so we can talk about it more.
Yeah.
And I've even
Yeah,
heard,
he should come on the show.
I've even seen some people complain about the placement of her tiara, which I didn't understand. I thought it was lovely, and it's supposed to be fitted to the head. Where else were you supposed to put it?
Why are people so mad?
Everybody's
I
got
don't
something
know.
to say.
Can we just not
They're
appreciate
just
that it was very
hating
nice
because
day?
Harry married her and he's not single anymore. No, I'm just
Yep.
kidding. I'm
Yeah.
totally
Just
kidding.
match, not princess,
Don't
duchess, whatever.
start writing
Yeah.
things.
All right.
You
So
can email Christina.
Don't start hate emailing. No.
So the Minerva open house party we were at in Atlanta. What was your favorite part of the party, Drea?
The fire breathers.
Fire breathers. Danielle?
I think the crazy magician that kept following us
He
around.
was crazy
Oh,
and
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
He was good.
I was
He
afraid he was
totally
gonna-
got Christina.
I thought he was going to light a lot of people on fire.
I was
First off-
worried about that.
Yeah.
I thought he was going
It's
to
a-
singe poor Brian's lovely legs.
That was a
so-
very
yeah.
flammable party.
Can someone
Yeah.
please buy me a flammable wallet?
No, did you
well,
see
that he
fun.
made all that. Those were his prototypes.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can't
Yes.
even buy that?
No.
No, he made
that
them.
wallet smelled like a butane lighter when
Yeah.
he took it out.
Yeah.
Like he totally
Oh.
made that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I need
So
one.
give me your
Yeah.
wallet.
I need one that sparks open.
It smelled so bad.
Yeah, I can't carry that around.
Mm-mm.
All right.
Well, I think his best trick, you weren't there for it, but we were on the show floor inside, and Hayden was sitting on like their little kid seat. So he comes over, he's showing him a couple of $1 bills, and he's counting them out as hundreds, and then all of a sudden flips it over, and they are hundreds. And we're like, how did he do that?
I know. We were all very impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
You should have taken the hundreds and been like, you can create more.
The other thing I liked a lot was
It's
the waffle company, the ice creams and waffle company that made little
Yes.
individual
That was
messages.
Positive
my favorite.
affirmations.
I thought it was
Like-
gonna come around.
Oh, sorry.
No, seriously, you can talk about it. No,
No, I just thought it was
wanted
like
to say that was
it was
mine.
so cute because they have you do these custom little things of they
Love it.
build your own waffle and ice cream. You put all your toppings on and they write down on the little piece of paper what it is. And then while the waffle is cooking, the person is making a little individual personalized note about you so that you get it when you get your waffles and ice cream.
I
at the
think
end.
Carly has it in her.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's.
But
Hey.
Oh, hey, Carly.
oh hey.
so
Carl.
they made the waffles, and you picked your toppings, and they wrote you a little note while you were waiting for it, and then they give it to you, and
And it was sweet.
it was very sweet.
and delicious.
Yes.
What a cool idea.
Yeah, they were super cool.
I liked it.
Okay, so let's and Brian, what was your favorite thing?
Honestly, I just liked finally getting to be there and meet these guys. Like, it was nice to put faces to
Yeah.
these people and see like all this other furniture. And Danielle and I took time laying on every massage
Yeah.
table and checking out every shampoo bowl. It was really cool to see. You know, it's one thing to know about it and try to picture what a huge warehouse of salon furniture would be like, and then another to walk through. And like the one thing that I saw that I was really excited about is like my favorite of all of our Minerva stuff are the sinks. I've said that for many
Yeah.
years. I was really happy at one sink we discovered, like if a salon already has sinks they can like afford or they're not in a position to bring in new ones. Minerva actually makes the little neck rest that has its own pedestal for them.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Oh,
So
yeah.
they can put that on any sink.
Oh, that's cool.
And I was like, I think that was a really smart move, and I wanted to bring that up because not everyone is in a position to get a sink of that size that we have.
Yeah.
The amount of different styles of furniture and colors
Yeah.
that they have was just so it was overwhelming but impressive at the same time.
Which
Yeah.
is why we went nuts like a
Yeah, it was
bunch
crazy.
of kids in a candy store.
I knew that they had a lot to choose from. I had no idea as to how much. I even said to you, Matt, like, how did you guys like
Yeah. You
come
did.
down here and like pick
Mhm.
out like this is like kind of overwhelming, but like in a
Yeah.
good
It
way.
was so overwhelming.
We weren't there. We just did it on the
I
website.
did it on the
Yeah, 'cause-
website, back
Yeah.
and forth, like different things.
But if you get a chance, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Go.
It's
and
like
they,
Salon Furniture
yeah.
Disney World, and they're super sweet.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
work with you, and it's just like, and even like I was just there maybe 6 months ago, but going back in there is so much new stuff. Like that headrest wasn't there, and like
I
there
like
was a lot
the
of
cute
things.
little kids barber chairs.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
adorable.
I like it too
Yeah.
because I could fit my little butt in it.
Mine, but did not. I didn't try, but
That did you?
Well, on top of seeing like everything that they had to offer, I
Yeah.
just liked going around with Brian and doing the interviews and like meeting some cool people who had a great time at the show.
Cool. And Christina, did you want to say something, or was the waffle thing your thing?
I thought the customer service with the waffle thing was super cute.
Yeah.
But it was just nice that they threw the party for everyone.
Yeah, what an event!
Yeah.
It was really cool.
That steak taco is good.
So let's just roll the
let's
video,
roll the
for
video
it so they
so you
can
guys
see
can
what
see.
we're talking
What's up, guys? Free Salon Education crew here hanging with Minerva. We got Jay from Minerva.
This is our open house 2018 party.
Beautiful event.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
We're so glad everybody can come out, and we've had a wonderful evening. Great people, great food, great times, great shows. All we were missing were them.
Hi, my friend Sam Villa here on Splitting Ends. Guess what? Here I am at Minerva Beauty in Monroe, Georgia, and I gotta tell you, what a great event that they're putting on here. You wouldn't believe what they have. Hey guys, all about online education, Sam Villa, thanks.
Hi, this is Jeff Grissler, Creative Director of Public Relations here at the Minerva event, and we couldn't be happier. First event, I don't know how we top this next year, but we're sure going to give it a try. Thank you.
Jennifer,
Yes.
why do you love this party?
Because it's absolutely fabulous. The drinks are wonderful. The entertainment was amazing, and it's probably like the best ending to a wonderful weekend of education that I could ask for.
Why do you love this party? Go.
I am Brad.
Thank you.
I'm having a great time. There's such a cool mix of people. I love hairstylists and being around creative people.
I love the mix of people and that there's some celebrities here that I never expected to see.
I'm Christine Perkins. I own Fiara Spa and Salon, and I absolutely love these events because you can network and talk to people, see people in the industry that have inspired and motivated you, as well as connect with them again and really create better relationships for the year going forward.
Hi, my name's Elizabeth Fantetti. I'm with the Professional Beauty Association. So excited to be here at the Minerva party. I'm part of the Data Driven Summit for our salon today, and we are giving away a free trip to the North American Hairstyling Awards, NAHA. Everybody here at the party got a free ticket, and then many more donated for additional chances to win. And our donations go to Cut It Out, which is our domestic violence program. So a big thanks to Salon Today, a huge thanks to Minerva.
Hi, Nick Arojo here. I'm here at Minerva Beauty, part of the data-driven kind of conference that happened here in Atlanta through Modern Salon. It's been a great night, and we've had like a little Cirque du Soleil, little cocktail, little magic. It's been a lot of fun, and definitely check out minervabeauty.com.
Wait, so can we just say that after the party, so that's the party, so, and it was a lot of fun, and I loved it, like, during the interviews, there's, like, fire going everywhere. But Nick Arojo, who we never really, like, let's say, met, right? And Minerva got us a limo bus to take us back to our hotel, which was, like, 45 minutes away in the opposite direction, right?
Yeah.
So we are deciding we're leaving the party, and Nick Arojo wants to leave the party as well, so he's got to take the same limo bus, and he ends up riding with us. I don't think he realized that we were going to go 45 minutes away from Atlanta, where he actually was, and we were already like an hour away from Atlanta, so he had to ride an hour and 45 minutes.
Thank God it was a comfy bus.
To Atlanta by himself. But he rode with us for 45 minutes talking to us about his American Wave thing and like all this stuff. And we talked hair, and it was really fun.
Yeah.
It was a great conversation. So just what a cool event, having so many people together. I think that was, my favorite part, just seeing there was some people we didn't get on there, but Ted Gibson and Candy Shaw, and there was a couple other stylists there as well. Just, a lot of big names in the industry all together, hanging out, and just a great time. So
it was really cool.
It was really fun. So thank you to Minerva for having an event like that and inviting us to be a part of it. The last thing, did anybody say anything?
No, they just said it definitely looks like it was a blast.
Cool.
They were just asking about if we got the tickets to NAHA. I said no.
I know. I was actually going to say.
No,
Does
but there
anybody
was
know?
I don't know
there
who
was a
won it.
stylist that I don't remember exactly where she was from, but apparently she had like a lot of things go wrong. Like there was a storm that had knocked her salon out for like 2-3 months or something like that, and then there was a fire, I think.
Wow.
So she won.
She won?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good.
that's
So
cool.
It
went
was
to
a
somebody.
a really great person.
Yeah.
That's great. It's like
I
that
just
was-
love that you know everything.
Well, I was sitting right there
I
when
know.
she won.
I know. It's just it's nice.
Okay, so last thing I just want to go over, we only have like 2 minutes left, but just real quick, the Love That segment, everybody that did the hashtag Free Salon Education, the first one that we have a photo of is Anne Fran Styles. I think
Again.
I feel like we pick her
Every
every
week.
week, but
Yeah.
whatever, man.
Dang.
She's hashtagging
Killing
away,
it.
and she's
Well,
got
we
great
let
work.
kind of everyone pick them, so.
Yeah, so our team, obviously, all of these guys, they pick which one they like, and I don't care if it's the same person every week. Whoever hashtags and whoever we like, right? So this is Drea's pick, right?
Yeah, it is.
So what was your favorite part about this?
No, I just love it. I love that it's balayage. I love that it isn't necessarily blonde. I like when you have those darker canvases to really just richen up and enhance them.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of people who want that, so I love it.
Cool, love that.
Love
Love
that.
Where did
It
Sad
spoke to
go?
my soul.
He go to the bathroom or something?
Dad had to disappear from it. I don't know.
We don't start hitting random
It's okay.
buttons. We'll fill in. We'll do it.
It actually says "Love That" on the button.
Oh.
Yeah, I labeled
Well,
it. for him.
Christina sounds just like it anyway.
Yeah,
so just
Christina,
let
you
her
do it.
Spooky Caitlin is the next one. This was Danielle's pick. Let's see. What'd you like about this, Danielle?
Well, I loved how the shape of it, the color of it, especially how well she did that shadow root.
Yeah.
And how she had the deeper, darker tones closer to the root and the ends, and just had that halo going through the middle.
Cool.
So
Love
shot.
that green.
Yeah.
Love that.
All right, and then the next one is Thad's pick, alex.t.hair. I believe it's Thad's pick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So I just liked this because it's a short, fun haircut, and they've obviously taken advantage of being able to do an extreme blonde on it.
Yeah.
But I know that a lot of people don't really decorate their short haircuts as much. So that was part of the reason why I like this one.
Cool. And then Brian's pick was at DanityGR.
Yeah, I love the
Super
picture.
cool.
I love the blonde. I love everything about it. I was stalking this page afterwards, and this model is fantastic. And she's done a lot of really cool colors, but I loved this. It's just a really, really great blonde. It's a great photo. They utilized, a pretty cool haircut and made it just look really pretty with the lines and the shape of it. And I thought it was a great photo.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, Thad, can you put some music on? Because we're about to announce the very first FSE Blowout winner.
What?
Sweet.
So let's get some tunes, and then this is going to take us out of the show for today. Make sure if you want to win a Minerva Beauty blow dryer, then use the hashtag FSE Blowout on your photos so that you can enter into the contest. The winner today is at Mickey Makeover. This is their blowout.
Oh, pretty.
Beautiful, right?
Love
Nice.
that.
So, so there you go. So congratulations to Mickey Makeover. Make sure that you send it to contest@freesaloneducation.com, your address, phone number, and name, and we will get you out your blow dryer. But beautiful work. Love seeing the hashtags and everything. We're going to bring the wheel back next week.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yes, it will be back. We need to do some revamping on the wheel, and I want to come up with some new ways of figuring out who gets to spin it and all of that.
What?
But
No,
Dre,
who wins the prize?
Whoa.
What?
No, like who spins it like who wins.
Oh, okay.
Not like who spins it physically. No.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dre,
wait,
we're going to take turns.
We're not trying to get clawed.
Michelle Funk is actually in the chat right now.
She is?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Sweet. It's
Oh,
awesome.
hi.
All right. Oh, hello. All right. Well, thank you guys, everyone that tuned into this episode. We really appreciate it. Make sure if you want to listen to the audio version of this podcast and also get interactive with us vocally, go to fsepn.com. That's the Free Salon Education Podcast Network. And you can download the Anchor app and become part of the podcast. Somebody left me a voice message today on one of our past ones. Also, my keynote from Nashville is up there as well. So if you want to hear the class that I did in Nashville, I recorded it as a podcast, so you guys can listen to that. Follow Drea,
Hair by Dre Day.
Danielle,
The hands downs.
Brian,
Hairstyle.
Thad,
Attitude.
and follow us, everything at Free Salon Education. Thank you guys so much. We will see you guys next week. Thanks.
Splitting Hair's Free Salon Education Podcast starts now. Featuring